When there we are. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Well, so good to see you. And Marty, welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Yeah, so this is the third time we've shared
Oh my
this.
gosh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
cool.
third time.
Very
Oh,
cool.
good to be pros now. And I just want to introduce everybody to Marty McRae. She is a friend and medium and an amazing psychic, and also somebody who's very special because she has not besides, well, there's many things about you that are very special, but really it's the thing that stands out for today, supposedly, that I think there's a lot of interest in, is because you have intimate encounters, close encounters with the Sasquatch.
Yes.
Also, not even just Sasquatch, you've had encounters with other beings too.
Yes.
And so this makes it uh, unusual, right? And part of it is where you live, the cabin, but also even before you lived at this place, you had encounters as a child.
Yes.
And so I want to just tell everybody, if you're not interested in interdimensional living, this may not be the program for you today. Just I want to let everybody know the topic, because some people may not be ready or may not want to hear about it.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Fair
yeah,
enough.
fair enough. I think probably the ones that are watching here, I just want to make sure everybody knows the
Yeah.
topic. Yeah, the ones that have tuned in are probably aware of that already. Because I know the people that when they found out that you were coming, I had a lot of people who were excited. So
That's nice.
I'm
Very,
so
very nice to have such a good welcome.
yeah, I'm so happy to have you back.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So well, I guess ask you. Um, this is kind of a funny question, Marty, but do you think now? I know that you're on the land with the Sasquatch. Was there any? Do they even think about Christmas?
I wonder. I don't know. I wouldn't. Um, I think so. It feels that way, and I know I can tell you that, and maybe members of your audience, that I just trust my feelings, and because I am a psychic and a medium, I give readings all day, every day. That's what I do, and so I've learned to trust my feelings. I feel that, and because I've had it validated by so many people, and so yeah, I went out and sang to them on Christmas,
Oh,
and I made up a Christmas song.
oh, really? Or do
Yes,
you
I
want
did.
to?
No, I'm not singing it here. And it
Oh,
was just, I don't even remember, because I was just sort of free flowing with the Christmas song. And whenever I sing, I get a reaction. And meaning, uh, you can, I can feel when they're here, because they have that thing of infrasound.
okay.
It makes your chest vibrate. It makes my head, uh, I feel pressure in my head, and so I can feel when they're around. Sometimes, and this group, because I have different groups coming through here all the time. This group that's here now has let themselves be seen more, but not for long. I mean, when I say seen, it's like, oh, there he goes. I mean, I've seen shadowy figures walking into the mist. That I've seen. I saw one night. Um, you asked me about Christmas, and I'm see, I don't have any trouble talking about the Sasquatch. It's so interesting to me, but at the same time, I'll tell you this, guys, it's not what everyone wants on their property, because it is scary, because it is paranormal. Um,
Mhm.
it's not, and when I say that, it's just not something we have experience with,
Mhm.
and so you can't say, oh, well, I know they're going to act this way. I thought I was all that in the beginning. I've been in relationship with them for about 4 years now.
Okay.
And 4 years ago, I thought, oh, it's all positive, because I met a really nice guy, a nice Sasquatch, super tall. His name's Russell. I call him Russell. And he's the only one, he and his nephew are the only ones I've really communicated with. And that's telepathic communications. And I trust that too, because I've had that proven and verified to me.
Uh-huh.
Um, but then when he left in June, I had a wild summer of all these different groups coming in, and he warned me before he left, there are some of us who don't like humans and want nothing to do with you. And so, keep that in mind. And I thought, oh, great. I've been enjoying getting to know and sort of what can I do and how can we interact? And anyway, long story. Someone asked in one of the questions, or someone mentioned Mike Patterson in Sasquatch, Ontario.
Okay.
I have watched him. I'm a fan. And I'll tell you this. I can't say really anything new to what I've had different interactions with them. And he's got a very intimate relationship with one Sasquatch. And I don't have anything like that yet. I have a little bits and pieces of that with one. But there are many around, and it's been proven to me over and over. I don't put cameras up because I feel it's invasive, and I promised them I wouldn't. And so this morning, they were out surrounding the house, and they've really made themselves known with they make owl calls. You can tell the difference between a real owl and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that they were making noises because they knew we were going to be talking today?
Oh gosh, I don't know. That could be. If it's the one guy, Russell, he is that guy who would know. We seem to be psychically or telepathically connected. And yes. Yeah, I would say yes about him. About the rest of them, I don't know.
You're right. So this is what I'm thinking, because I was getting the chills even just that. And I remember back, this is a few years ago, right? Whenever we'd talk on the phone, I'd see these aliens come into my house. And it's amazing how they have much more knowledge, a super conscious knowledge of what's going on around than we do.
Yes.
We all have this knowledge. We're just not always have access to it.
Yes, that's so true. And it's like, I call it the cosmic web. But it's like a giant spider web. When someone across the world, that happens to me all the time now. And I know that the kids are being born now. I think that's the trend of where we're going. You asked earlier, where are we going in 2023? 2023 and beyond, we're moving into a cosmic consciousness.
Yes.
And that's everyone, all beings being able to easily tap into that web. So when someone, a spider's, think of a spider's web, that's how they get their meals, is they feel someone going ping on the web and they run to it. Well, same thing. I get pings all the time now. And I live alone on a mountain. And so it's very quiet. And you just living in peace and quiet gives you a lot of opportunity to really differentiate between your own thoughts and then cosmic consciousness. That's fascinating to me, because when I was younger, I thought, how do you and then everyone who's a beginning psychic or medium, they also have these thoughts, right? How do you differentiate between your own thoughts in your own head and then what is being given to you from the other side, the cosmic web, the universe, whatever you want to call.
Awesome. Yeah. I want to take a moment just to say hi to people, like a hi, Joan. And you have the best conversation. She says, okay, now Sharon. Hi, Sharon Sipe, our wonderful moderator. And Heidi, am I in the correct place? I think you are, Heidi.
Oh, that's my cousin. I think so. If it's the Heidi I'm thinking of.
Okay, Heidi Arabia?
Yes.
Okay, Lee G. Could you see the comments on your end?
No, I don't have should I just go on YouTube Live?
No, you should just click on comments on the top right. You should get comments.
Oh, okay.
And then there's Dream Journey.
There.
Yeah, Dream Journey 1 and D Spark. Hello, you guys. Loco Lolo. Okay, Angel T and MJ420. I just like to say a few names here. Lee G. Okay, I already said that. Prince Charming and Gina O and Tina Seascape and White Dragon. Hello, White Dragon. All right, and he's had quite a few encounters himself. Well, yes, so White Dragon, we're going to talk about a few more encounters, I'm sure. And hi, Wanda. Okay, and Colleen. Colleen's wondering where they are on Vancouver Island. Maybe we'll get to that question later. Okay, Denise and Ocean and Tina. Okay, so good to see you guys. Everybody, Viviani. Okay, Lucy. Okay, all right. So I just want to also remind everybody that sometimes this information, can feel either, like vulnerable, a little sensitive. So if there's anything that comes up, Marty, that you say, oh, I think that I just don't feel comfortable. I want you to feel comfortable saying, I don't feel comfortable answering that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So just be honest about that. We're here to support and love you. And we so appreciate you sharing your knowledge with us. So.
Oh, Kim.
Yeah. Okay. And I love to continue this conversation because I think that as we go along in the years ahead, anyway, for sure, right? We're going to be hopefully, and thank you for saying that entertainment purposes only. Yes. We will hopefully be more open as a society on Earth to meeting people who are different or beings that are different.
Yes.
And we were talking about okay, if we can't even get along with the Democrats and Republicans, how are we going to get along with the Sasquatch?
Right. And then this is what we both thought is why would they disclose that aliens, ETs, Sasquatch, all the beings that come and go from this planet? That's what I've heard. And that's what I understand to be true is that, yes, why would they? Why would they disclose themselves when we can't even get along? And we've been proven to be the most violent inhabitants of this earth.
Yes, right.
So, I don't know. I think that you asked me how are we going to? Who is that? Who's that?
I gotta get my dog. It sounds like a Sasquatch in the room.
No.
No. Okay, I'm just gonna tell my son to come get her.
Yeah.
Okay. So just
go ahead.
Yeah, I just texted him so he can.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, we're here on Earth to learn how to love better. That's what I've gleaned from, all my years in practicing mediumship and psychic readings. We're here to learn how to love better. That's why souls come to this earth. And so how do you do that when people, this is why this is the best boarding school, because you're just being pushed and provoked, and people make you upset. People hurt your feelings. People mistreat each other. And so how do you as a soul grow from that and to me, my goal is to respond in love. Let's respond in love to people who piss us off. Right. That doesn't sound very spiritual, but it's how do you keep coming back to love?
Yeah. Good. Thank you. I always think of it. You got to come into your own heart first.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you for saying that, because I think that's a good way, just as an opening, that we're here in love together.
Yes.
Oh, and Carolyn is saying Dr. Gail's dog was doing the same.
Okay. Oh, that's funny.
That is funny. Okay. So can we ask you some questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it fact or fiction? I mean, some of these that this, and I'm going to write, who wrote this down? Who wrote that? I'm going to try to see who did the questions. Oh, well, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Holly Blakemore says, do you believe that the Sasquatch are supernatural? What do you think?
No, I mean, I know they're real. I know that they are real, and supernatural. I always think supernatural is like something you can't prove. I don't know. It's that, do you believe in them? There's no believing in them. I've lived here for years and had physical, full on, all senses going. I've been touched by them. I've seen them. I've heard them. And no, it's a real thing. And I just believe that scientifically we will then, our understanding, our science isn't there yet, that we can't understand. I've physically seen them walk into thin air. I've seen them, flash, appear, and then watch them just turn around and walk away, and they just disappear. And
Mhm.
so I don't know, how do they do that? It's a real thing because it's just do we understand it yet?
Yeah, yeah, right. No, we don't understand it. And somebody said they're in, yeah, Denise says they are from another dimension, of course, right? They're in a different dimension.
I think so. I'll tell you, I don't know. I didn't know if I was going to get into this, but when my dog went missing,
Yes,
well, that it all was involved with something,
yes.
something paranormal here. And
Hmm.
was it Sasquatches? I don't know. I
Hmm.
know that when he was missing, I asked to be shown psychically, is he okay? Is he still alive? Because he was missing for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, found him on Saturday morning. So 2.5 days, really, but all night and the stormy, stormy weather. He was found in beautiful shape, way up high on a ridge, far from here, 3 canyons over.
Uh-huh.
So, and while he was gone, I heard him barking outside. Of course, I'd go running out, no one there. And the behavior was the same as the Sasquatches because you'll hear them and you look out the window, you don't see anything, but they're there because they're making the noises. They also can mimic. So, my real experience with my dog missing was tied in with a lot of weird paranormal woo-woo stuff around it. And that's very interesting to me. I just know that it's real. I know I was caught in the middle of something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so very interesting. I believe that a lot of beings are actually interdimensional that we just think of as everyday. For instance, what I think, and this could be my imagination. What do you think, Marty? Butterflies, dragonflies. I feel like they go interdimensional,
Right?
and, from our dimension that we can, see, and then they move off and they come back. I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's known for them, known about them.
No, I agree. I agree. And I may just say that maybe it's not another dimension. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. We don't know. But what it is, what we do know for sure about certain insects and certain mammals, even like dogs and cats, can see things that we can't. Just
Sure.
because their eyes can see more on the spectrum than humans. And so maybe it's just as simple as that what we're calling another dimension may just be, oh no, like not to be weird, but people on acid trips, or I've never done that, but I hear the ayahuasca and all these, DMT, the different psychedelic experiences, mushrooms, that you can see what's really, really here.
Okay.
You can see into these other dimensions. So,
I see. I see. Um, hmm. I do believe I personally believe it's more than just our visual. I
okay.
believe that there is a different dimension, but it's just, and
Yeah.
it's right next to us, but it's our ability to be aware of it. I think that to me, that's what it is. Our
Yeah.
ability
Yeah.
to be aware.
No,
I don't know.
I don't disagree with you at all.
Yeah.
I'm just like question mark,
Yeah. Okay.
but
Right.
I
I mean,
believe
maybe,
I'm open.
well, I mean, it's a human way to think of it.
Yeah.
Or like how the humans we think of as the bigger, the different levels, like our guide levels and their guide, and then their guides and their guides to their guides and their guides to their guides. I mean, just the different
Yeah.
levels. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I like how you say. I mean, yeah, I would think that they're in a different dimension, but they can. I guess I'm guessing, Marty. I mean, I've never seen one. I'm just guessing here that they can shape shift from one reality to the next.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'm sure. I know that's the case because I've physically seen that. And I will say though, my dogs on this property, I've seen two of my dogs disappear into thin air right in front of me. It terrified me. I thought, what?
Yeah.
And I started questioning myself, like, did I really just see that? And then they'd pop in on the other side of the property and like that.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so I do believe that there's some sort of a portal, wormhole, something system here, energy,
Mhm.
because where I am is on a mountain, 3,200 feet up, and looking out at Mount Adams and between Adams and Hood in the Cascades. And it's said that the rock, the lava that formed these mountains, it holds energy. And it's a hot spot for, of course, well, your audience knows all this, the hot spot for...
They may not. No, they may not. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Of
not everybody.
ET sightings and, paranormal, extra normal, things that you don't normally see, you could see here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do think that's because of the energy in the rock. Basalt, quartz, limestone. There's a whole cave system under here. Someone else asked, do you think they live in caves? Maybe. I don't know about it. I don't know about caves on this property. I'm sure there probably are.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So let's go on to some of these questions. Valerie Brown asked about crystal marbles. Have you ever seen or heard about Sasquatch leaving crystal marbles for communication?
I personally haven't experienced it, but I know that's the guy I was talking about, Mike Patterson on Sasquatch, Ontario. Yeah, I leave them. I've left mine crystals, and they've disappeared.
Oh,
we leave other gifts. Yeah.
Okay. So
they leave me rocks, and they leave me really cool rocks that I have a little collection here that they saw me digging up rocks one day, and they thought, oh, she likes these kind of rocks. I really don't. But the thing was funny because I was taking pointy rocks out of my driveway, and I was throwing them to the side, and somebody invisible was throwing them back, like, oh, is that the game? Ha ha. And you would hear him or her throwing rocks back, crunching along in the dried leaves. But I don't see him, but the rocks were coming from, pretty high up, and they chucked them really far. And so I thought, wow, okay, that's funny. And I had left a little pile of these rocks to the side, ones that I thought, oh, those are interesting. Like they have pictoglyphs, whatever the heck they're called. Anyway, they had like hieroglyphs or something like that, petroglyphs. And I set them under this tree, and then I have trouble walking any far distance. I mean, I do, but I have an autoimmune issue. And so I think they saw me, because I always walk with a stick or a cane here. And they saw me, hiking back up the hill. And I thought, I'm too tired. I'll just leave those rocks there. My thoughts were, I'll leave the rocks for tomorrow, and I'll go get them, the ones that I like, and I'll keep. And then the next day, all of those rocks were moved right up by my house in a little pile. Like they did that, and then they dug into this area right by my house, like, oh, you like those rocks? Well, here's some more just like them, and you don't have to go so far. And that was the vibe. They dug up this whole pile, and I'm like, okay, that really wasn't the point, but thank you. That's really cool.
Wow. Yeah. Nice. Okay. And hello, Kevin. Good to see you. And T-Barb. T-Barb's asking about fossils. But the rocks that they brought, do they have fossils in them?
I've seen I have some rocks like that here. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome though. Okay, good. Okay. So, Spiritual Seeker 583 is asking, will we have contact besides you? I mean, will we as a general population or humanity in general?
Yes, but not in 2023. Did you say that?
No, I didn't ask that.
Oh,
no.
Okay. Yeah, no. I can predict that. It does take. This is why I think a lot of us are. There's Denise Spamman, who wants one of the Bigfoot rocks to make a talisman. Good idea. Good idea. I have a whole collection. They're not attractive. But anyway, Denise is a friend, and she makes beautiful jewelry.
Oh.
Timeless talismans.
Next time, show some of these rocks.
Okay.
That they might like.
Okay. What were we? Oh, yeah, the disclosure. It's going to happen. It's all dependent upon. That's why I was being my big lecture-y self about love. This is what humanity is tasked with until we're the least violent, until they can trust us not to be violent.
Uh-huh.
then I don't think disclosure will happen. There's this, and I don't know if do you believe in all this? I don't know if I do. I still have question mark about like Corey Good, David Wilcox, a lot of these people who've made a lot of money talking about, you know, they've had these over and back experiences, and I just don't know. I'm still a question mark. There's so much controversy in the UFO community, the the Sasquatch community. Everyone's arguing about who's right.
Okay. I don't really follow all that, so I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You're my expert. I don't know. You're my expert here. It's not.
Oh, okay.
We're looking to you for expert, knowledge.
Yeah, and then that's the listen. Here's the thing: people that it's like the more you know, the more you experience. That's how I feel like I can tell people who are really real is the less you know. The
Right.
more it opens up another door, another door, another door, more
Yep.
questions, more questions, more questions. What did Rose, do you see Rose says, I had an experience like that when I went to Mount Shasta and sat for a bit, felt like I was being watched and heard leaf crunching. Yes. And that is it. When I go out, I made it a point to go out every day at noon and sing here. And I'm singing to the land. I'm singing just because I'm trying to layer this land with love. And that's my little side project. Let's go out and sing. And plus I'm practicing singing because you know what? Everyone who suffers from anxiety, your vagus nerve is responsible for a lot of migraines, anxiety, upset. And so singing is very healing.
Yeah.
And that's why I physically do that, to open up the vagus nerve and feel I have extreme anxiety. I always have. And that helps relieve it. So anyway, I go out and sing, and the minute I sing, I hear I call them in. I call them in with an Om chant that I do, and they all start. You hear them all crunching over, like, oh, okay, what's she gonna sing?
Oh,
So I'm trying to come up with new songs all the time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Do you think this is also still from Spiritual Seeker 583? Will we accept Sasquatch or any alien living with us like the regular old forest dwellers? Well, of course we will eventually.
Yeah, and I think there's hope on that, because where I live, I didn't believe in all this, but I mean, I kind of did. I wanted to before I lived here. I was hopeful, like, wouldn't that be cool if there really were? But I don't really think there are.
Mm-hmm.
But I, because they've been so fleeting, because they're hidden so well.
Yeah.
And then living here now, you just get to know, oh, okay, that's them. Here's what's happening. You don't question it anymore. And I will say, this whole community where I live, almost everyone, it's not, do you believe in it or not? It's, you've either had experiences or not.
I see.
And everyone does accept them, like, oh, well, if they're out there, whatever,
Yeah. Awesome. I do believe that the singing, not only to help Sasquatch, and to feel and come in close, but it also helps the angels come in close. Absolutely. They hear the people singing. Yeah. So
I agree.
And they're also interdimensional. Angels are also interdimensional, not just the furry, cute little Sasquatch. Okay. Now, Jay is asking, are Sasquatch shape shifting? Do you think they shape shift?
I don't know, but I've had some interesting experiences around that. I say yes. I say it's possible, because I've seen like who they do hang out with is coyotes and crows. We have a ton of those around here, and they're great mimics. And I've had this giant. What I've had are experiences where someone will hit the side of my house. One of my friends, and Sasquatch, and I go out, I look out the window, and I've seen this giant, the biggest elk you've ever seen, like superhuman, big, buffed, as if Sasquatch turned into an elk, like 10 or 11 feet tall. Like, what? And just turned and disappeared into the air. And so then I've seen a large bird, same thing. Who's ever seen a fat bird? I've seen a really big, thick, fat bird that looked like Sasquatch as a bird. Are you kidding me? I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes, and my animals have too.
Okay.
That's, yeah, I believe it.
Sure. And Hypnicities has heard about coyotes also doing that. And okay, Denise is asking, talk about the society they are. Is it female ruled, or do you know?
I had one that I've witnessed here. I saw a large female, and she was definitely in charge.
Okay.
And I don't know, is that the case for every tribe? No, I know it's not. I've seen other tribes here. We have tribes that come and go. That's what I know for sure. Because the interactions are always different and interesting. And they range from the ones like the Sasquatch that I interacted with, Russell, who's can speak with me telepathically, to more just like regular old apes, or and it may just be that those regular old apes are not interested in talking to me. That could be too. So yes,
Okay.
magical. How magical? So magical. My life is nothing if not magical. It's and I'm grateful for it. I am.
Okay. And War Girl is saying that Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot jump through portals from a different dimension. I do think that just seems right to me.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Okay. Now, another question here from the comment section, from the other comment section. Jay is asking, are some of them more aggressive than others?
Yes.
And, okay.
It had a summer full of aggressive. It was, what I was trying to copy Mike Patterson on his Sasquatch Ontario channel, where he was leaving drawings that's outside, and then his Sasquatch would leave a drawing back. And so I tried to do that. I made like these really cool with sidewalk chalk on cardboard outside, thinking that this group was like my other friend who had long gone. And this is after he warned me. I should have listened, because I made a picture of like me and a Sasquatch with a heart in between. And the next morning, someone had taken a dump on it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Sorry. I thought it was really funny, but I was also like, oh my God, not the same as Russell. These ones don't want to be friends. They just, and it was like, ha ha, they slid their butt across it. It was clear as anything, like, okay. And every night then we were having communications back and forth. I had all this cardboard from a construction project, and they would stack the cardboard boxes in different designs, and I would take it all down. And then the next day I'd go out and it'd be all built back up again. So that was really interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. So they know our consciousness a bit, if they know what a heart means, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they know they're aware of our thoughts.
Yes.
It sounds like.
Yeah. And I just think it's just like humans. You have some people who are interested in, oh, I want to reach out. Let's be friends. That's me and you. But I know a lot of people who are like, whatever, weirdo. No, I don't want to be friends with everybody. And it's we run the gamut, and so do they.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, and I believe this hypnoticity that a lot of ancient ways, and actually we are moving this way again to the matriarchal, because
yes,
it's time now. I forget. I think it's actually going to be the next 2,000 years, or maybe longer. Is predicted that we're moving to the matriarchal society, and it's going to be for a long time in place.
Good. It needs to be. We need to get back in balance.
At least 2,000 years, but maybe it's 20. I can't remember now. Or
who predicted it? Where were you hearing it?
Oh, I've just heard this off and on different places. It's
really,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I know you're into Cryon.
Uh-huh.
Or
Mhm.
is that okay to ask?
Yeah,
See?
yeah, but I mean,
I'm
I
going
don't
to
like to
out
do
you.
that. I don't want to do. But also, if we go within, rather than, I want to. I'd
Yeah.
rather see what our spirit team has to say, because I don't want to just depend on what everybody else says.
Yeah.
Because really, we have to know what's in our own hearts and go
Yes.
with that. That's the most important part. Whether it's the real world or not, it's what we are comfortable with and what we get to know, because that's how we get to trust ourselves rather
Yep.
than getting it from an external source. But
That's right.
but it does feel right now that we
Yeah.
are in, and I'm getting the chills even as I say that, because remember back in the Lemurian days, right? It was very matriarchal. We are back again. We're getting there. This is
Yeah.
coming, and I feel even in the next 20 years, it's going to be even stronger. I just feel this time shift is getting shorter to matriarchal.
It
That's
needs to be.
my feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what I read, because I don't really even read anymore. Hardly.
Wow. Well, I know you're a little busy.
No, it's not that. It's just, well, kind of, but I feel like I used to read a lot, and I want to again. I want to know from my own self.
Yes. Yeah,
And,
it's so
and
interesting. A lot of people ask me questions like that too. Like, what do you see for this? I don't like predictions because I always feel like, sorry, I mean, this is just me. Many psychics thrive on predictions. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if I'm right. But to me, honestly, I think from what I've seen and from when I swim on the other side on a very regular basis. And so astral traveling, all the readings that I do, I channel. And so all of that, my experience shows me you can't make a prediction that says, oh, on X day, this is going to happen. I mean, you can go ahead, see what happens, and maybe you get it right. But 9 times out of 10, I think there's so many potentials
yeah.
from our time here on Earth. There's so many humans are creatures of free will, and so that's why people come here, for the excitement of experiencing free will, and
Mhm.
and also learning how to love better in that chaos. And so
Mhm.
I just don't predict. I can predict trends. I know that. And I'm sure you're right about matriarchal. It just
Mhm.
feels that way. It feels right.
Yeah.
Just feels to me that women are concerned with everybody because we give birth to everybody. And so it's not, if you're a male, you're better. If you're a female, no, it's just, let's be fair and balanced.
Mhm, mhm. Well, yeah, because we have to shift. I mean, we go through phases, right?
Yeah.
Just like whoever is leader in the country or the world. And so it's now we're coming back to balance,
Yes.
And then maybe, perhaps, which I would hope, that it's going to be the male female end of really true balance
Yes.
instead of one just as a leader. Because I feel like it's that the intertwining of the powers, that female and male, or the goddess energy coming together in our own self. And this is, if we can do that in our own harmonics, our own self, and get that balance, well, then it's going to be natural that it's going to go out into the world
Yep.
and to the universe, right? It's just
I
going to
agree.
come together.
Yes.
Okay, another question. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the purpose of alien encounters?
Oh, I can only speak for myself, but it's always educational. It's,
Mhm.
always with new life lessons. I know that I've done a heck of a lot of medical exams, been part of it, been been worked on. And I personally think that's huge for me. I think they tailor it to whatever you personally need and want and ask for. Um, I
Mm.
don't think I know, because I ask for things. I've asked for many things over the years because I used to be so terrified. And I've said, I don't want to experience certain things. If you have to do medical exams, that's great. I don't want to be awake for them. And but I do want to live. I want to live as long as I can. And because to do this work, I'm on fire for living now because I have a mission, which is to promote that agenda of learning how to love better. That's it. That's it. And
Okay.
so they've helped me a ton with my physicality and my health. I just know it's happening. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. And I have heard from other people with interdimensional connections that they feel definitely it's helped them, one, become more loving, definitely more intuitive, a more,
Yes.
maybe even a remembering of perhaps their star family. And that
Yes.
they would be coming in to just remind them that they are being supported by a star family.
Yes.
And so that's another awesome reason to have
Yeah.
having. I don't think you can say it's just one reason, right? It's got to be
No, tons.
there's yeah. But yeah, I know so many lately. I've seen the aliens in reading showing up, and and really showing support for us here on Earth. I really see
Yes,
this a lot.
I do too. A lot of support,
Yeah.
and it is ask for what you would like, because what is your heart's desire? What would make you happy? What would make your life easier? That's I've asked for and received. Yeah.
So would you consider? So you would ask an alien versus, say, an angel or your spirit team, or is the
I've
angel
asked everybody.
everybody?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody.
For
Okay.
them, I do have a spirit guide team. I do have an ET family. I do have in that ET family more spirit guides and ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
I've read for so many people where I've been able to connect them with their ET guides,
Yeah.
with their ancestral family.
Yeah.
Um, the past lives readings are great for that.
Yes.
As
Yeah.
I say past lives, but it's really concurrent
Right.
things, like we're at the center of a wheel and their spokes are coming out from us in lifetimes, if that would make
Yeah.
sense to people. That's really how time is happening on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Mm-hmm.
linear. It's not
Right.
then forward. I've found that there's a lot of people that are coming from the future back to this time on Earth to help. And that's
Yeah.
fascinating. I think
Right.
a lot of young kids coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's true, and I think that the ones that are leaving now, this mass exodus that we're seeing, these people are coming back as teachers. They'll be coming back as teachers right away. When we say, "Oh, well, we just lost somebody," and I have to say,
Yeah.
you guys, we just lost one of my dear, one of dear friend last week, I guess, or so, and he was in a healing circle, and I just want to acknowledge the love and blessings to Pedro as I just think about him right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Aspie Third Eye, I've been seeing them for, wow, Aspie, awesome. 11 and a half years. It's not 12, it's not 11, it's 11. That's great that you're keeping it. Yeah, 11 and a half years. That's awesome. And I would love to hear your connections too. And then Hypnicity's asking, how can we help each other? I mean, yeah. What do you think, Marty?
That's what you asked me earlier. What gives me hope? And that what she or he is saying, that's it right there. How can I help you? How can I be of service? How can I help others? I think most of us are people like that, and we just don't have maybe the opportunity often in our daily lives to do that. I do, because I'm in a helping profession, but that's what makes life worth living, is to create a ripple. Just do who's right in front of you, do something nice for them, and watch. If we can every day commit to, how can I help you? How can I serve? If everyone had that attitude, yes, of course, what an amazing world it would be. But I see it all the time in our community, especially in the healing community, because that's what we're here for.
Well, yes, and I see that in these tasks that are outward tasks, but I also believe some of us can't get out of the house, perhaps, or they can't.
True.
You know what I mean? And so the way they help is by, again, I just have to keep
Prayer.
going back to this, going back into your heart, lighting up that little light, Let that little light shine, and all you have to do is get to know that, and everything is going to flow. Is going to flow naturally.
Yes.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Whoa! That's a
Yeah.
big. Um, just I have to. I don't know what's going on over here. My son has not. I'm going to say, get Raven now.
Somebody needs attention.
um, so, but for those of us who can get out, great, or do things, but some of us, all we need to do is just go within and loving ourselves. I think that's so, I mean, I think that's number one, loving self,
Yes.
and getting that light. And then that is how we help.
I should put it out there. I'm disabled. I'm a disabled person, and I don't like saying that, but I'm just saying that for if the case there's anyone in the audience who, like you were just making note of, there's not a lot I physically can do for anybody. Nobody wants my physical help. Not helpful. But what I do is I do this. I'm on the phone. I'm online. I'm talking. I'm sharing my life experience with others. And that's all any of us can do is just, can you share your heart? Can you talk to someone and meet them where they are? You know? Yeah.
Yeah. And even again, just being with your own heart.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, G. Kim. Oh, okay. This is a good question. I like this question, G. Are Sasquatch here for a specific purpose? What do you think, Marty?
There's a legend that they are from this planet called Marduk, something
Okay.
like that, and they're
All right.
a race, and that their planet was exploded, or maybe it was even Mars, but and so now, well, that's a legend. It's just a legend. But then again, there's so many legends that turned out to be, oh, it's probably true.
Yeah.
Their planet exploded years ago, and so their race of people had to start over, and so they came here to Earth, and but they are some of Earth's oldest inhabitants. And I don't know, what is their mission. What are they here for? I do see them. I had some interesting behavior this summer. And I had a wildlife biologist come and stay with me in October, and she walked the property with me. And that was fascinating because I'm not a scientist, but she is. And so she could tell me, oh, this is this animal does that, and this animal does that. But these things that you're showing me, no, there's no animal I'm aware of that behaves this way. And what happened on my property was they were marking different plant areas with other plants, and you could see that they turned things upside down, trees upside down. You could see they were marking areas of the property. And do I know what it was about? No, except all the areas seemed to have a beautiful view of Mount Adams, where someone could sit back and look at the mountain. And so I thought that's interesting. But my feeling is that this is sacred land, and they do come here to worship. That worship, or not the right word, but rest, rejuvenate. It's sacred land.
Wow. Okay. And that reminds me too, in the ancient days, right? The pyramid, I mean, a lot of them knew their star family elsewhere. And perhaps this is a viewpoint where they could get a better view of their star family. Maybe a
Yes.
landing place. What do you think? A landing place? Landing?
What?
Like they could land? Like, I mean, it's land. I mean, I'm assuming they have spaceships, but they probably don't have starships. Do they have? Okay, that's a good question. Do they have starships? Do you think?
I see orbs with them, lights in the trees, and that's everyone has seen orbs on my property, and it's they're blue or they're white when they're, I believe, when they're with Sasquatch. And is that them? I think so. I've heard and seen. I had an experience where one night they came up my hill, this big field of blue orbs, and they were about yay big, about the size of a basketball, but it was, the whole hillside was lit up with these blue orbs. And at the same time, I heard stomp, stomp, stomp. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So I thought they're marching up, but they're being shown as blue orbs. I don't know.
Okay. Do you think I mean, I guess
What's their purpose? Not a
one,
clue.
okay.
They seem to manipulate the forest a lot. They are doing logging activities at night. You'll hear trees come crashing down, and in the canyons, they take the dead trees and they stack them vertically down the canyons. These are not humans doing that. This is,
Okay.
you're physically hearing these giant trees being toppled, dragged over to the canyon and placed there. I don't know. Why are they doing all that?
Okay. I don't know either. I mean, obviously, I don't know.
Yeah. And
I mean,
there's structures here in my property too that they've made, and I don't know. What is that all about?
Okay.
Another question mark.
Yes, but there's so many. Look at that. Lisa's asking logging activities, perhaps, right? And yes, Missy, this is what I see. I talk to so many people who are bedbound, and they feel like they want to contribute. I agree with you. They want to contribute, and how can they do it?
Yes.
Loving from the heart. Okay. Okay. So do you think, though, do they need starships or ever use starships, spaceships? Besides, are you talking about orbs, that they would travel in orbs instead of a spaceship?
I don't know. I think so.
Okay.
They do come traveling in orbs. Are
Okay.
those orbs interdimensional vehicles? I believe so.
Okay. Okay. But do you think there's a planet somewhere off Earth that also has like the home planet for Sasquatch?
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
good. Yeah, these I don't have answers to that. That's a giant question mark. I had oh yeah, no. I take it back. I did a channeling session once. If you believe in the channeling, I believed what I was being given from. It was a Sasquatch leader. His name was Tavor. He was based in Mount Shasta, but he came into my channeling circle and spoke through me. And
Uh-huh.
what he did, I'd forgotten this, he did say, yes, they have a planet and they've been coming and going between that planet and here for at least 10,000 years, if not more.
Okay.
Maybe he said millions. It was a huge amount that you thought, what? No. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah. I mean, it just seems they're so big. And I think normally you think of, these, what I think of as aliens or ETs, they were more skinny and,
Right.
fragile looking. And these guys seem so much bigger.
Right.
So that's interesting that that would have to be a pretty big spaceship.
Well, there's a metallic sound that happens here too, a lot of metallic clanging on the
Okay.
property that sounds like when they've arrived, you'll see a flash of light, and because it's woken me up at night, a crack, a flash, it's almost like a lightning crack, but then
Yeah.
it's not lightning, and a flash of light, and then you'll hear like what sounds like a car door slamming,
Okay.
or an industrial garage door rolling down like vroom. And so, is that a spaceship? I don't know. Is that just a feature of a portal opening and closing? Don't know.
Okay. Right. But it makes sense. And that's why I wonder if they look out, see, because I remember one time when I had my house cleared and I said, oh, I can have a spaceship land in my yard now because it's all cleared and opened up for them. And I mean, I'm wondering if the Sasquatch have the clearing so that they can go see the mothership or something landing. I don't know. That's just my imagination.
I know. Why are they doing logging activities in the middle of the night? I don't know. It seems to serve a purpose.
Yeah. And then Warrior Girl says, I don't think they need a craft using a portal. Yeah, I don't know. We don't know. Okay. Okay. And then here they're talking about using crystals and sage. Well, that might help.
That this white dragon says, don't know if I would feel safe living alone on a mountain. Right? Thank you. You nailed it, white dragon. Yes. 100%. Because I've had really nice, happy, fun experiences in the beginning, and it was really all that until this last summer. It was wild and crazy and kind of hostile. And I've had pine cones. They threw pine cones at me, hit me in the head. And I thought, okay, who's to say it's not a rock next time? Who's to say they don't want to drag me off to their ship? And I'm like, I just try to speak. Just like with bears. Okay, there's bears here. There's cougars here. There's wolves and coyotes all the time. And so I try to make a lot of noise when I go out my door. Bam, 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 with my walking stick on the porch. And I have my own signal that I announce myself. I clear my throat. And I also sing so they can see me out and about doing positive things. I would hope that the nicer ones would go, she's cool, don't bug her. And for the most part, it's been like that. I do leave them snacks. I have a tree that they told me to leave snacks on. The behavior around that has been very interesting too. My wildlife biologist friend is against it. She's like, don't, the bears are probably just eating your stuff. It's not true. Because I told that to my Sasquatch friend, the one who said, put the snacks at this certain tree. I said, how will you know that bears won't get it? And he just laughed. And he just said, bears won't get it. I'm like, okay. And the way that the food has been taken is not like a wild animal. It's like a human is eating the food. And, I leave bags of apples and peanuts, and they tuck the bags, fold them up and back into the bark, and it's all neatly gone. And yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So nuts and fruit. Now, do you feel like they're vegetarian or are they carnivores? And actually,
I know they're carnivores too. They hunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're omnivores then.
I think just like humans. Yeah.
Okay. Omnivores. Okay. And Marty, do you happen to know what they do in their spare time? This is a question by G. Kim.
The logging activities, right? That's all I know. We did some drumming on the property. I had some people out, and we were doing a drum circle, and they were interested in that. They were fascinated by it. They come close when you're drumming, music, have a fire. You can hear them coming in. You can feel them coming in. Yeah, okay. And they throw stuff at you.
Nice. That's friendly.
Maybe.
If they're throwing money,
you being sarcastic.
Yeah. I mean, if we're throwing money at you, that's nice.
But
right. Feathers. Right?
Maybe it's nice. Yes, Sasquatches eat human food. Well, it's just apples and they're roasted peanuts, unsalted. It's just funny too, because they left one on my front porch tied up with a blue thread, and it would right. And I went out and I'm like, what? And I said, oh, okay, because I was leaving them unroasted and roasted, salted versus unsalted. They like roasted, unsalted, and
wow.
And they left it one sitting there like this kind with the blue. Like, got it. I'll only get those from now on.
Well, what a wonderful way to let you know that.
Right.
And and actually that makes sense too, because I don't know, it just seems like more easily digestible, and it is healthier without the salt. Or maybe they're I'm sure their chemical balance must be different too than ours. That magnesium, potassium balance and all. Okay, sodium, potassium balance must be different in their system too. So I'm assuming salt would affect them different.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Maybe.
And the blue thread. Okay, yeah. And how about, do they like drinks or beverages?
That's I don't drink. I don't drink any alcohol, but Coca-Cola, that's in my fridge, and then sparkling water. And they were taking Cokes. Yes.
From the refrigerator, they'd come in and they would walk in. And so instead of Santa Claus in the middle of the night, it was a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I see that? No. Did I hear footsteps in the night? Yeah. Did I want to go up and check it out? Nope. I'm like, I'm not going to go down there. I sleep upstairs. I'm like, this area is rich with spirit as well. And so being a psychic medium experiencer, spirit does not frighten me. And the Sasquatch if they can come in, they've already shown me they can come in and out of this place at will. And so I know whatever. I mean, I'm powerless. And no, I did. That was me taking your sodas. I know. My cousin doesn't want me to drink Coca-Cola, but I still do. Yeah, I counted. I started counting because I'm like, who's taking my colas? I knew it because I'm like, I just stocked up the fridge the night before and there's like 10 missing. I'm like, okay, come on now. So they do like the Coke. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Here, and Lisa's saying, I leave them a sedative cookie so you can sleep.
That's a good idea. Not a bad idea.
And this is the last question here. I mean, do you feel in general, we know, okay, so I just want to kind of review, I think, a little bit. Tell me if I'm going off base here. They're interdimensional beings. We probably are associated with another planet, but we aren't positive about that. We think there is maybe a starship somehow associated. Maybe it's either an orb or a craft or something. We think, right?
Maybe both.
Okay.
I know they work with the Nordics.
Okay. Right. Now, I thought you told me they were guardians for the Nordics.
Right.
Okay.
And
so the Nordics, tell us what are the Nordics? Tell us what that is.
Those beautiful ones, the beautiful, tall, super tall, white blonde, they're just big eyes. You see them a lot, the Nordics, the Nordic ETs, and they do come here. And I've had a few personal Nordic experiences here. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And I didn't have those here before. The Sasquatch and the Nordics all came in after the little shadow people left, the little aliens that you'd brought in before. I called them Menahunis.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's those little skinny guys that are like sticks with black heads, the ones that I've seen.
Yeah, exactly.
Whenever I'd get on the phone, hello, Marty. Oh, well, hello. There you are.
Yeah.
How come there's 4 of them come in every time? Marty, hello. Who'd you send over, Marty?
This is why I love Kim, because Kim was you were the first medium, you're the first medium that ever brought them through. I'm like, oh, holy, she's the real deal, because that's so unusual, right? Not everyone goes to a reading and the psychic says, oh my gosh, are you involved with ETs? Because I've got them here in my living room. I'm like, yeah, describe them. And she's all, well, they look like, I'm like, yeah, 100%, you're spot on. So that was really cool. Caffeine and sugar, I see the comment. I know. I don't like to tell that about myself, but I'm human. I'm still addicted to real Coca-Cola. I'm down to 1 per day.
Well, that's not bad. I mean, look at, there's a lot worse things, Marty. You know that.
Yes.
So
I don't do real cocaine.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Thank you, Denise, for saying that. Informational and fun. And I want to say here, if each ship represents a different, I know we got to close up here though. If each ship represents a different star family, then we have at least 9 visiting this planet. Of course, at least, right?
Yeah, at least. I know Earth, if we believe what all those rest of the guys are saying about this, that there's, Earth is sort of a pawn in this big intergalactic war or struggle for, the good guys versus the bad guys. Who's who? I don't know. But there's a lot of talk in the UFO community about that Earth is a super pawn. That's the only word I can use. And we could go either way. And we have so much power if we choose to lead with love.
That's right, Marty. And that, yeah, because I just had to tell everybody here, we've got 86 people listening.
Nice.
We have power beyond our imagination in another dimension that we are just not aware of, but we can get there if we just go here, right?
I love it. I love your just go here, just go here, just go into your heart. I've done that a lot at the start of my public events, public demonstrations. I'll lead everyone just like you did before we went on here. We had a nice, quiet time together of just centering in our heart and projecting what do we want as our outcome. And I love you both, and Coca-Cola too. That's cute. Anyway, it all starts within. It all starts here. And if you can visualize going down into your heart and take a look around, who's in your heart? What's in your heart? You can see and feel and hear what's in your heart. When you know yourself, the more you know yourself, that's what we're here for, is personal development, so that we can then love better. Yeah.
And I believe, I still think, despite all the chaos, that we are going to get there, to love better and to be in more harmony. I know it's deceiving, right? If you look at the external world, but if we go in, if all of us, I know we are doing this. I hear so many people having more internal experiences.
Yeah.
We are becoming more in love with ourselves, in love with human. Well, even, haven't you noticed? I think I'm starting to talk to people I wouldn't have talked to maybe even a year ago. Or
good.
Just people that are maybe on the other side of the aisle, politically, or whatever, mainly politically. And I'm thinking, I can just have a conversation without getting upset.
Yes. Right? It is possible. It's physically possible. Is it probable? I mean, I think we can get there. I really do. I see in my news feed, at least on Facebook, I've seen all these groups pop up saying, be the bridge, asking for me to join these groups that are, that they're mixed, white people, Black people, people of color versus white privilege. I mean, all of these communities are coming together to have conversations now. That you're right, 100%. We are all one. We are part of each other.
It's that unity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just love this, you guys. Thank you all. Well, this has been wonderful chatting with you, Marty.
It's wonderful chatting with you.
So, and then I love this.
Everyone here, great questions. Great questions.
I know. And Hypnicity is saying, we need to redefine what a win. Absolutely. What a wonderful, what do you call it? Not an idea, but an epiphany, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then the sum of all minds is the universe is one. Yes. Oh, I mean, this is just over and over. This is my latest in my meditations. This is what I'm getting about unity.
Yes. Other is an illusion. It's true. There are no others. There's only us.
I know. Thank you. And so anyway, Marty, I just so appreciate you being here again. And I hope that you are safe and surrounded.
I hope so too.
Surrounded by your angels, of course. And come on, move out this way.
I know, right? Yeah. I will be moving eventually in the future. But as it is now, I'm loving it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Thank
good.
You. Love you, Kimmy.
Okay. Blessings, everybody. Much love to everybody.
Yeah,
Happy New Year. That's only in a couple days. Happy New Year. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Wow. Woohoo. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.